What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Sorry I've been gone for a long time. I had to go do some work recently, so that kind of sucks. I'm fiending to get back to doing some car stuff. Got my 1320 video shirt on today. Shout out to those guys. Retro. This is a 1 of 50, believe it or not. Fred, what's up, bud? How's it going, bud? Somebody tag Fred. Tell him I said, what's up, bud? We're back now, though. We got, like I said, I got a couple of things in the works. I've been having people ask me what's going on, what's next. I've been talking to guys over at Overton Productions. If you haven't heard of them or seen any of their videos, I'm going to link their YouTube channel in the first the first link in the description below is going to be to the Overton production guys, Miguel and Brandon. Those two put together some amazing footage, and I'm working with those guys to get something thrown together here soon, so you'll see more on that later. Maybe I'll do some behind the scenes and some shooting. Today, though, we are going to answer some questions about this whole thing. I got to clean up the garage because I've had like 4 or 5 projects and I haven't cleaned up since I've been back. So I'm going to get cleaned up here, get situated, and we're going to answer some of your guys' questions, like viewer submitted questions. But okay, so let's get started on some of these questions. We got, let me get over here to screenshots. I've been getting a little bit better at talking to myself, but I still hate just sitting here talking to myself. Dom left now, so I'm here by myself. Shout out to Dom for leaving me here on the worst coast, not the best coast. Where is the screenshots? Screenshots, here we go, screenshots. So, let's get started here. The first question here is going to be from C_King_24fit. He's asking if it's got a stock bottom end or if it's built. So, there's been a couple of motors, and I talked about this I think in the first video, but the first video obviously is stock bottom end, but I was like 21 or 22 years old and I blew that motor up. I didn't wait for the tune to be finished on that first motor, so that was kind of a bummer. Hard lesson learned. The second, after I pulled that blown up motor out, we were able to salvage the block and the factory sleeves, and all I did was throw a Wiseco piston in, and I went to 9.5 to 1 Wiseco pistons with some H-beam, mainly H-beam rods, and then everything else was just factory. That engine lasted for, well, I shouldn't say lasted, that engine was in there for about 2.5, almost 3 years, and probably like 20,000 miles at around that like 800, 900 horsepower range. And then I decided it was time to take it out and freshen it up and for big power. So I pulled the motor out and sent it down to Cy Lee down at Lean Tuning and Racing, works with fast forward racing engines. And I did it's a sleeved block now, custom Manley pistons, back to 11.5 to 1, I think, or 11 to 1. And then it's also got I-beam rods in it. It's got 3-2-1 valve springs in it. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's done all the way to the nines for a street short block. It's not filled, so I still do drive it on the street plenty, but it is about max effort as you can get while still running water through the block and not having aluminum rods. German street car. These guys are down in South America, I'm pretty sure, even though it says German street car, but they're asking what the partials of the car are on the 8th mile. So before, I haven't really had the chance with the new motor yet to get to the track because I just got it running this year and then the track's closed with everything going on. But before the track's closed, I did get kind of like one shakedown pass. And you know, I ran it a little bit past the 8th mile, and it went like a 580 on low boost, at like 132 or 134 or something like that. So like I said, that was like 18 pounds of boost, and it didn't have anything really in it in the leave. I figured out that I was pushing through the converter, so that we kind of wrapped it up through the day. Once I got to like 18, 19 pounds of boost, the converter wasn't liking it. So pulled the converter out and swapped it with a PTC converter. So I also spec'd that out because he knows my car just as well as I do, the ins and outs on it. So looking to get to the track and hopefully go. I really want to go 7s with the car. I think it's easily capable of going 7s. Letting out at like the 1,000 foot on that low boost pass that it ran that 580. It went like a 879 or 880 at like 116. So I let out at the 1,000 foot and even was on the brakes, and it went an 880. So I think when it's up there, the 25, 26, 27, 29, 30 pounds of boost, I think that it definitely can go a lot faster. So that's my hopes for that. Johnny _ Neves asks what the rear end build is. So the factory rear end, I didn't weld the tubes. Still same suspension and everything, but I twisted the axle tubes, and the rear end now has a Mosier M88. So it's still it's not a production M88. It's got the thickened axle tubes and the webbed casting with the supports in it. It's Mosier's custom spec'd out 8.8 rear end, and then I've got 331 gears in it with a Eaton diff in it, so it doesn't have a spool. C-clip eliminators and some big axles and wheel studs. Factory rear brakes still in the back, and then all of the suspension has it's all UPR solid spherical control arms, uppers, lowers, everything's adjustable, and then then it also has a UPR anti-roll bar underneath the car, and let's see, the Viking shocks in the rear and in the front. That kind of wraps up the rear end there. That was a unexpected purchase last year. I think I have a video on my Instagram of when I twisted the axle tube. It was not a fun day, but it ended up with a better rear end anyway, so it works out. 0_need05 asks what one mod that I wanted to do to my Mustang but never went through with. I think as most of this stuff starts the same for everybody, like you just bought one thing and then like you went down a never-ending rabbit hole of stuff to buy for your car. But I think that at one point in time I was looking to do put nitrous on the car just to go fast for cheap, but I opted not to put nitrous in it, and then I ended up just buying that On3 twin turbo kit. So nitrous is something that I never went through with. Simmons Racing, he's been following me and watching me since I started this YouTube channel and Instagram. He has 2 questions. The first one was, what's my very first hot rod? This one, actually. I bought this one when I was 19, when brand new in 2013. I think it was August of 2013. I bought this car. It was definitely too much of a car payment for me at that time, because I was just an airman living in the dorms. I'm also military, in case y'all didn't know that. I am in the Air Force. But at the time I was like 19, living in the dorms, and basically before I could even drive the car anywhere, I had paid an entire paycheck just to say that it was mine. So for insurance and for the car payment, for the car note, it was an entire paycheck. So that was not a good decision, but it worked out in the end, I guess. You live and you learn. And then what was my first ET ever racing on this car? This is also Frank Simmons. My first ET ever was like at a no prep event, and it was a no prep event at I-29 drag in Omaha, and it was a stick shift class, or I was running test and tune or something like that, and it went like, I raced an NA Mustang while, oh shoot, man, no, I had gone but to the track before when it was just when it was NA before I had turboed it or anything. I think I had just done like an intake and exhaust, and it went like, I think my best run for the night was like an 8:10 or something like that in the 8th mile. It had to have been something really crappy like that, like an 8:10 or an 8:17. But that was my first time at the drag strip ever. I went with my buddy Pat Lewis. You better be watching. If you're not, he's like one of my oldest friends. He better be watching these videos. I went with him, and he had this is back in like 2014. He at the time had a supercharged and nitrous Cobra, a Terminator. It was a 03 Cobra. I think it's called Sunfire Red, but he had one of those, and that I remember that thing being fast. I think he went like a 690 that night, or a 710 or something like that, which is a second and a half, or maybe even a little bit more faster than me. So that's kind of what catapulted me into where I'm at now. So thanks for that, Pat. I appreciate it. You know, $90,000 later, and thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Let's see, I had a couple of more questions today. We'll go back to my story here. Swipe up. I had this person ask me 2 math questions. I'm not doing public math. I'm not trying to do that. Mustang09 asks what my goals for the car are this year. Kind of circle back to it. I would like to go bottom 8s or 7s if I can get out to the track and get some good times. I really think that the car is capable of doing it. I think that'll be an awesome achievement. Jordy Cuts, my barber. Jordan asked who my favorite barber is. Well, there's this Asian lady that works at the beach. No, I'm just kidding. Jordy Cuts, shout out, dude. I'll put your Instagram link in the description if you guys are in the Southern Maryland and you guys need a haircut right now. Hit up my buddy Jordan. It's Jordy Cuts on Instagram, but I'll link his description below. Boosted Yote wants to know if you could have any other affordable car, let's say under 70,000. Oh my gosh, why is this so long? Let us see. Share response. Under 70,000, what would it be and why? I would say under 70,000. I think you can get a used Audi R8 V10 right now for under 70,000, and that would probably be what I got. It's a good ride height, all-wheel drive. Lamborghini. It's built by the Germans, powered by the Italians. So you already know it's going to be fast, but it's going to last. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know anything about high-end cars, but I would do an Audi R8 probably. Ever since I was a little kid, I always really liked Audi R8s, the way that they looked. They're super fast, but they're underspoken. I don't really like that whole big Lamborghini, Ferrari, flashy. I don't like that. I really like Audi R8s. I think they're like a soft-spoken car. They're really good performance, and I just really like the way that they look. So that answers that one. I don't think I had any more. I'll check Facebook real quick. I also did a post. If you guys aren't following, I did a page for Facebook. It's the same as my Instagram on Facebook. If you just pull it up there, I'll try to post on both of those things. Let us see. We'll go to the page here and take a look at the comments and see if there was anything. Posts. Cool. No comments. Nobody likes it. Perfect. What up? Getting in this video. like I said, I was talking about earlier at the beginning, the over 10 production guys, Miguel and Brandon. I've been talking to them. We're working on something really big, so I think it's going to be huge for this channel. It's going to kind of change a lot. It's going to be an awesome production. If you haven't seen the videos, like I said, I'm going to link them in the description. Go over and check out Over 10 Productions. They did this Evo video out in Houston, and it's really, really amazing quality. So go check it out. I'm working with those guys, and we're going to get something really awesome put together. You know, something for the channel, and also for intros for like the rest of the YouTube videos. That way I could just run something real quick at the beginning of all the videos, and it'll be a cool little, you know, flash to the channel, which will be nice, I think. But thanks for watching. Like always, comment, like, subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, do it. Don't be lazy. Click the subscribe button. I think I'm like 2 subscribers away from my URL having my name in it instead of being like XY1ZL3496 whatever. I think I'm like 2 subscribers away. So if you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be really helpful. It would be awesome to have a URL with my name in it. That way when people search for stuff, it pops up a lot easier. But again, thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody's support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.